from Boston Leaf. I try to keep everyone up to date with what's going on and with all the news connected to cannabis. So I wanted to remind everybody that today is the 13th. Today is the day that Cindy Mae Meehan died. She's actually the reason why I'm here. When I went to go look up what is a seizure, I found a video of her getting her CBD and having the seizure stop immediately, and I was floored. And I went from someone who had smoked pot in college to somebody who is really advocating hard for her daughter, for her friends, for her community, that cannabis is something that, as we all know, it needs to be more accessible for patients. It needs to be more accessible for the ones that need it, for the ones that are most, they're ones that are most at risk, the people who can't afford it. I'm lucky, I can afford for my to get my medicine. But the problem is there are so many people that can't, and to be able to get the same medicine over and over again, it's not always possible in a caregiver situation, which is really I think is the best plan that is available, because getting from a dispensary is difficult. I really feel, as a parent, I would rather have a caretaker for my daughter. I would want to make sure that I have the same medicine available to me. I want to know where it comes from. I want to know from seed to sale, because really from the dispensaries, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how they're storing it, and it scares me. The thing about the lead, that scares me to death, because that is my main source of how I medicate, because I do have 2 kids and I don't want to be smoking in my house. So I use vapes, and now they're saying vapes are possibly contaminating us and we're poisoning ourselves. Oh my gosh. So I would really like Massachusetts to become a leader in research and a leader in what we should look at, and not look at other states, because really people are looking at us from all over the world of what we're going to do at social consumption. I'm a parent and I have to smoke in the garage. I feel like a criminal. It's ridiculous. I have a medical card. I'm over 18, 21, and yet I'm hiding in my garage from my kids. I'd like to be able to go to a place and hang out with my friends and consume socially, responsibly. It should be a right, not just a luxury. I guess that's all I'm saying. I've already said my piece, but thank you.
Next speaker is Vanessa Jean-Baptiste.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for having this. Greatly appreciated. Okay, so I'm in economic empowerment. I'm going to tell you about my process. I am in an area that has been disproportionately affected by the marijuana. I got a location. I then tried to go to get a host agreement, which is one of the things that you need. And I was given wrong information by both the mayor and the law department. And I went to city council. They told me to go there, so I went to the meetings. After that, I was told, the host agreements were signed by secretly. They weren't even told to the media until all 10 were signed, and then a local reporter was the one that broke the news. I want to say that I feel as though economic empowerment should be a priority, because when it comes to municipalities, I have been told by officials that it doesn't matter. They don't care about economic empowerment, and that I've been laughed at. To me, I feel like this is a joke. Like, I'm getting to the point where I feel as though economic empowerment really isn't important. I know to you guys it is, but to municipalities, they don't care. And what I want to say is, I want to have something implemented when it comes to social consumption and to delivery where it is for economic empowerment. So instead of having the conversation with municipalities that don't want to speak to us, we can have some type of license that are given by you guys instead of an economic empowerment email or like a provisional license. We could go to municipalities and say that we have been certified by the CCC so we can have a business, because people don't care. I'm going to be frank with you, people don't care. they don't care about Black people. So, and we have been the ones that have been going to jail for this, so I'm asking for help. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Golden Fifth. Kim Pina. Chauncey Spencer.
Beyond Marina?
Is that Biondi Marina?
Oh, Marina, we have to go.
I go, okay, sorry.
Gabe?
Salazar?
Gabe
Sorry about that. We're doing the best we can, I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. My handwriting's terrible. How are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic, thank you. So, my name is Gabe Salazar. I'm the founder of We Can Deliver, and we're a community-driven delivery service. With that being said, I'm here on behalf of my community to recommend a win-win, which is a delivery-only and event license. You know, those two licenses. If we reduce the required setup and discuss a more financially feasible process, for example, is there a need for 2 people to be in the car when we have body cams and cameras? Driving around in an armored truck, honestly, in Roxbury, Dorchester, that's going to cause curiosity in a good and a bad way. And it's not going to be community driven. It's going to have a stigma and cause fear. This will be a win for dispensaries, patients, and recreational users. This will open up a bigger market for those dispensaries and those people to be able to get what they need, which will help drive prices to be competitive and lowered. Well, I've heard these prices are crazy. So dispensaries will have more consumers in that sense. And this can help develop a way for social equity training programs. I applied to be one. And those who already are able to start a lower cost company, these bigger companies can have a lower cost investment into this. It wouldn't be that much to get someone a van and let them pay you $300 a month or something on a finance program, so that not only myself, but my community, we can grow and we can all build together. And that way, this will be a greater success for everyone. And thanks.
Thanks very much, Steve. Blake Mensing, I don't see him.
He's doing work too, he'll be back.
Okay, well. Kyle Wood.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us here today. I'd like to thank you guys for all the hard work that you've put in over the past couple of years. So I'm one of the owners, founders. I also sit on the board of directors of the Summit Private Lounge. So I'd like to clarify a couple of things moving forward. We are not in the gray area. We are a legal establishment in Massachusetts. We are a legal private membership association and follow all regulations at the local and state level in regards to private membership associations. Now, with that being said, our board of directors has voted to allow the consumption of anything legal in Massachusetts. In 2016, I believe it was, we voted for recreational cannabis to be legal for personal consumption. We allow our members to consume cannabis on-site. Now, with that being said, looking towards the future, social consumption is obviously a hot button issue. I understand that there's many concerns from the community as well as advocates in the community, both on safety and other regulatory issues. I would advocate strongly for social consumption, being that we have allowed social consumption for the last year. We have not had one issue. We have not had one person arrested. We have not had one fight. We don't even have a bouncer. All right. I see the regulations as overreaching and unreasonable in a lot of aspects, and I don't believe that it's your fault. I don't believe that it's the community's fault. I believe that we're all trying to do what's best, right? And we all have different visions of what is best for our communities. And I'd like to see us come together in a mutual standpoint where we can not only benefit the industry but also benefit the communities that those industries are in. The other thing that I would like to advocate for is clarification on many regulations. I worked in private health sector as well as I worked for DPH before this. There's no gray area in laws. It's black or white, you know, and I feel that since I've been in the cannabis industry, there's just been a constant stream of gray. And I believe that we need clarification as well as at the state level as well as the local level. I believe that many municipalities interpret laws as well as many individuals in the communities interpret laws, and we need clarification to straighten out this, because this also allows the black market to thrive as well as prevents people from entering the legal market. I have a lot of other thoughts. I'm not going to go into them. One of the other points that I would like to touch on is social consumption in itself, where I believe that we as a social consumption establishment should be allowed to provide our members or our constituents with safe, affordable cannabis products. I believe that this is needed to prevent the black market from thriving, as well as a public safety issue. Bring your own cannabis models are amazing, and this is one of the issues that I would like to touch on, is that I don't believe that we should have to wholesale from large multinational corporations that are producing 100,000 square foot cultivation centers. I believe that a home grower should have just as much access to this industry as a multinational corporation. I believe that me as a social consumption establishment should be able to purchase from a home grower their overages. As we've heard, there's a lot of debate on plant count and what plant count can produce. 10 ounces is off of 12 plants. Like, you'd have to be horrible at growing to get that. I mean, that's just a reality. I mean, if every plant produced 1 ounce, you're getting over your legal limit to possess. So they should have a mechanism where they can sell that product into the legal market, either through event licensing or through a social consumption establishment, where I could follow all the testing and regulatory schemes and guidance around safe product and product manufacturing. And then that allows that home grower who may be interested in entering the legal market an avenue for showing his wares to the greater public and getting consumer feedback. And I believe that would allow for a safe, tested product and anyone to enter the legal cannabis industry, also providing equity to our communities. I have a lot of other ideas. I have a lot of other stuff I'd love to touch on. This isn't the place or the time, and I just want to appreciate you for your work. I understand you're in a very difficult situation. I would not want to be sitting at that table, and I just want to thank you. So thank you for listening to all of us, and I hope you have a good day.
Okay, Val. Okay, I'm going to let you be my leader. No, you guys, I'm sharing the burden is what I'm doing.
See us some more. Hi.
I'm sure sorry.
Hey.
That's why I asked you, Mr. Bright. Thank you very much.
That's all right. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, my name's Sia Samora. Most people know me as Chief. Well, I got about 5 minutes here. Right. So I want to thank everyone here that's testified. This is very good for what we're trying to create. Thank you, everyone, for sharing here. And I want to thank you, of course, too. I think you're competent people. I think you're trying to do your jobs very well. And I really approve of what you've been doing, so thank you again. And I'm going to try to touch on several things here as fast as I can, save your time. My history, I am a founding member of Mass Bay Cannabis, New England's original private cannabis club. Okay, we have maintained lounges, we've done delivery, we've been serving this community for a very long time, and actually that's the wealth of my experience actually comes from social consumption and delivery. So I was looking forward to moving into those categories. As you know, those categories and licenses have been kind of pushed along. I kind of moved into other ways of getting into the local business, and I am an economic empowerment applicant, I have been. So I've been trying to explore the economic empowerment certification and see exactly what it can offer for people like myself and others. And so I'll share that with you here instead of go into all the other things I'd love to talk about. I think I owe it to the commission the fact that there's about 130 economic empowerment applicants, and yet none of them have yet received a license. And so I'm here just to go ahead and kind of share some of that experience with you. And really the reason why I haven't applied for that license yet, despite the fact that I'm economic empowerment with a priority in licensing there, is because of the lack of capital, having money to do those things, and then also, frankly, the municipality, the city that I'm dealing with. And I think you can hear this thing echoed over and over and over again here, right? Municipalities and the need for capital. Really what the priority certification does is it quickly moves me into competition with all kinds of millionaire dispensaries and stuff if I was to get a license like that. And so I'm fortunate enough to be a member of this CIRA Accelerator, the first cannabis business accelerator in the nation. And there, we've been able to bring a product to market. We're currently in 3 stores here in the state. And of course, that didn't take the economic empowerment, that didn't take the social equity into account. And I've run into a lot of the same type of attitudes here when I mention economic empowerment to municipalities, landlords or just about anyone else. They really don't care. They have to see what's in it for them. They gotta see the money or else it really doesn't mean much. So I don't want economic empowerment folks to be set up to fail like that. I think with technical assistance, access to capital, and real support. So what does that real support look like? I think we have to come and say, medicinal dispensaries have kind of been handed a monopoly early. Economic empowerment applicants like myself have kind of been forced to sit and watch as these new stores come into business. We'll also be forced to watch, and I'm gonna share this with folks, at least one